Doing well. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Eliza, and today I'm going to teach you how to solve multiplication and division sums. So I'm going to get started with multiplication. I'm going to type here multiplication. So the first sum is going to be really easy for you, but you need to learn the multiplication table for that. I would always suggest you to keep a multiplication table handy so that whenever you do multiplication sums, you can look at the tables and memorize them as you are doing it. That is the easiest way to memorize the tables. Well, so we have a sum over here, 23 times 2. I would always prefer writing the place values. We are definitely going to have a new lesson on place values. So these are called the place values, ones and tens. I'm going to teach you this multiplication sum based on the butterfly method. Okay, so this two, think this to be u. Okay, this is u, and this let me take a different color. This 2 and 3 are the people who has been invited over to your place. So the people who has been invited over to your place, you are supposed to go and speak to them. So you are going to speak to 3 first. 2 goes and speaks to 3. So 2 times 3 is equal to 6. Then 2 goes and speaks to this 2 in the tens place. So 2 times 2 is equal to 4. And thereby our answer is 46. So this is the multiplication which is being done in the butterfly method. And also this multiplication is a very simple one because it doesn't consist of any regrouping. What is regrouping? Regrouping is when you have a carryover. Okay. So the next sum which I'm going to show you is a regrouping sum. I have a sum, a double digit with a single digit. So 56 times 2. I always prefer to put the place values first. So I'm going ahead with that. Now I'm going to times 6 with a 2. Why? Because you are 2 and 5 and 6 are the people who has been invited over to your place. So you are supposed to go and speak to each one of them. So 6 times 2 is equal to 12, right? This 2 sits here. Always the number on the right side, it sits. And what happens to the other number? It goes to the top as a carryover. These sums are called multiplication with regrouping. I'm going to write it that for you. Before that, let's complete the sum. Now 2 goes and speaks to 5. So 2 times 5 is equal to 10 plus 1. We are always supposed to add the carryover. So 5 times 2 is equal to 10 plus 1 is equal to 11. So our final answer is 112, right? So this sum, what we have over here is multiplication without regrouping, and this is the multiplication with regrouping. Okay, so regrouping, multiplication. That means it has a carryover along with it. And this one doesn't belong to regrouping. The very first one, it's not a regrouping multiplication. Okay, so we have done the multiplication now, a double digit with a single digit. Now we are going to move on to the multiplication which has a double digit and it's getting multiplied with another double digit. So I'm going to go ahead with that, erasing this. Well, and here we go. So I have 23 times 65. Okay. So let's say that 2 and 3, this 23 are the people who has been invited over to your place. You have a sibling in your home So this 5 is you and this is your sibling. Okay? So your parents have asked you to go and speak to each one of the guests, right? So before getting started, I put ones and tens, which is the place value. Forget about 6 at the moment, the blue one, forget about that. We are only going to deal with 5 at the moment. So forget about 6. I'm going to change the color over to black because that is what we are dealing with at the moment, 5, which is you. So 5 times 3 equals 15. You can, of course, write that outside. Put the 5 over here. Where does the 1 go? The 1 goes as a carryover. So this is a regrouping sum, right? Now we are going to multiply 2 with the 5. So that gives us a 10 plus 1, which is 11. So you are done speaking to the guests. You have completed your part. Now it comes to your sibling who is yet to do the job. So 6 times 3 is equal to 18. I write 18 outside. Put the 8 over here. Where does the 1 go? The 1 goes as the carryover 2. Okay, now it is 6 times 2, which is equal to 12, plus 1 is equal to 13. So I'm going to put the plus sign here because we are going to add up the numbers now. That is going to be a 5, a 9, a 4, and a 1. So your final answer is 1495. What did we do in this sum? We had 23 times 65, right? So it was 65. We first multiplied 23 with the 5. That was our first step. Our next step was 23 times 6. This was our second step. So this sum is a mixture of two sums. It is a mixture of two sums. But remember, before we move on to the sum with the 6, we are always supposed to put a 0 over here. Do not forget to put the 0. Some people also put a cross over here, so that stands for a 0. You can also put a cross if you do not want to put a 0. That is also acceptable. Okay, so your final answer is 1495. That is what we needed to know about multiplication. Oh, before I forget this, you have learned in the previous chapter about the factors and the product. So what are the factors over here? 23 and 65 are the factors. That means the numbers which are getting multiplied. What is the product? The product is 1495. This is called the product, which is the final answer. And 23 is called a factor. Also, 65 is known as a factor because those are the numbers which are getting multiplied. Okay? So that is what we needed to know about multiplication. If you have any questions related to multiplication, you can definitely drop that in the comment section. Okay? So I'm moving on to the next part, which is division. So I'm going to type here division. And, well, our first sum is, let's go with a very easy sum. It's 24 divided by 2, okay? For instance, what is the easiest way to do these kind of sums? This is a house. The red one, this is a house. And who are the people staying inside the house? 2 and 4 are the people who are staying inside the house. Who is the security guard of the house? this 2, this red 2 is the security guard of the house. Just remember, we can only move ahead with the sum if a number is equal to or greater than the dividend. Okay? If it is equal to, okay. So I'm going to, let's not confuse you at the moment. We are going to learn about this we are going to learn about this right now. So look at this 2. Okay, compare with this 2. Are they equal? Is this 2, is this gray 2 equal to 2, less than 2, or more than 2? So it's equal to 2. That means we can proceed with the sum. 2 times 1 gives us 2. We do the subtraction. 2 times 2 is equal to 0. So either we can write a 0 or we can put a cross. I prefer putting a cross. Now, what happens to the 4? Down comes the 4. Okay? Now we are going to compare that with the 2. Is the 4 greater than 2? Oh yes, it is greater than 2. That means we can move ahead with the sum. So what I was discussing a few moments earlier, we can only move ahead with the sum if this number is either equal to or greater than the divisor. Okay? So 2 times 2 gives us a 4. We are doing the subtraction again, which gives me no remainder. So I am left with no remainder. That means 24 divided by 2 is equal to 12. Or I can also write it as 24 divided by 2 is equal to 12. I can also write it as 24 divided by 2 is equal to 12. There are so many ways in which we can write this down. As you have learned in the previous chapter, this 24 is called the dividend. Okay? This 24s, all these 24s are called dividend. 24, do we have any other 24 here? No. So these blue colored 24s are called dividend. Okay, now let's go to the red one. So this is the red 2, this is the red 2, red 2, and the red 2 over here, which is known as divisor. Divisor. And the final answer which we got here, which is the 12 over here, the 12 over here, and the 12 over here. That is called quotient. I'm sorry. Okay. Q U O T I E N T. So that is called the quotient. Okay. So the blue one is called the dividend. The red one is called the divisor, and the final answer which we get over here, this is called the quotient. So this is a long division sum which does not have any remainder. So the next sum which I'm going to show you is a sum which is going to have a remainder. Okay, so let's get started with the next one. This is a house. 2 and 5 are the people staying inside the house. And who is the security guard? Who is managing the whole house? That is that green 2 sitting outside the house. So let's go one by one. Let's take this 2 and compare with the 2 outside. So is this 2, is the red 2 smaller than, equal to, or greater than the green 2? So it is equal. Both of them are equal. That means we can definitely proceed with the sum. 2 times 1 gives us 2. We do the subtraction, right? So 2 minus 2 is equal to 0, or you can put a cross instead of the 0. It's up to you. Now, what will happen to the 5? The 5 comes down now. We are going to compare this 5 and the 2. So this 5 who is sitting inside the house, is it less than the green 2, equal to the green 2, or more than the green 2? 5 is more than the green 2. That means we can proceed with the sum. So what did we discuss a few moments earlier? We can only proceed with the sum if it is equal or greater than the divisor. So 2 times which number would give me a 5, or a number less than 5? So 2 times 3 is equal to 6, which is greater than 5. So I'm going to move a number back. 2 times 2 gives us 4. I'm going to do the subtraction. So 5 minus 4 equals 1. I do not have any more dividends over here or any more numbers over here. So that is my final sum. Now, how do I write the answer? My answer is 12 remainder 1. So we have a remainder over here. If you want to write it in this way, 25 divided by 2 is equal to 12 remainder 1. Okay, that can be our answer. If you want to write it in this way, 25 divided by 2 is equal to 12 remainder 1. Either way, you can write in any of the ways which have been given over here. So this is a sum which has a remainder along with it. Okay, let's go to the next sum. Okay, what shall be the next type of division? So I am going to show you in one page. I'm going to show you two different sums. I have a 14 divided by 2. I have a 15 divided by 2. Okay, so let's compare this first number with the divisor. 1 is less than 2. That means, can we proceed with the sum? No, we cannot proceed with the sum. So we are supposed to take two numbers over here. I'm going to consider two numbers. Now, 2 times which number will give me a 14 now? Okay, so 14, is that greater than 2, equal to 2, or less than 2? It is greater than 2. That means we can proceed with the sum. Now, 2 times which number will give us 14, or something which is less than 14, but we actually have a number because 14 is exactly divisible by 2. So 2 times 7 gives us a 14. Where am I going to put the 7? I'm going to put the 7 on top of 4 because 14 is working as a group over here. So I am going to put that on top of the 4. Okay, so 2 times 7 gives us a 14. Doing the subtraction, so 14 minus 14 gives us a 0. We can either put a cross instead of the 0. So 14 divided by 2 is equal to 7. That is our final answer. Now let's go to the next one, which is going to have a remainder. Okay, so we have 15 divided by 2. I'm going to look at the very first number. So 1 is less than 2. Can we proceed with the sum? No. We are forming a group of 15. So we are going to consider 15. Is 15 greater than 2? Oh yes. 15 is greater than 2. That means we can definitely proceed with the sum. We are going to find a number, 2 times a number, which is either equal to 15 or less than 15. So I see that 2 times 8 gives us 16 and 2 times 7 gives us 14. We cannot consider 16 because 16 is greater than 15. We cannot do the subtraction. So we are going to choose 2 times 7 equals 14. Let's do that. So 2 times 7, which is going on top of 5 because 15 is working as a group over here. 2 times 7 is equal to 14. I'm going to subtract it. So 15 minus 14 is equal to 1. So 15 divided by 2 is equal to 7. The remainder is 1. So the answer is 15 divided by 2 equals 7, remainder 1. Friends, as you can see over here, I have written the division in two different forms, okay? 14 divided by 2, just look at this one. It's a front slash 14, front slash 2 is equal to 7. This is 15, a division sign, and a 2, which is equal to 7, remainder 1. So you can write the division sign in so many different ways. This is another way which we have already discussed, okay? So moving on to the next one, I hope till now whatever I'm explaining you understand. In case you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, okay, in the chat box. So the next one which I have for you is 3-digit dividend. 216. Okay, or maybe actually I can show you 246. Let's go ahead with this one first. So the security guard who is protecting the whole house is sitting outside the house. Let's look at the first number. Is this red 2 equal to, less than, or greater than this black 2? So it's equal. That means I can definitely proceed with the sum. 2 times 1 gives me a 2. Subtraction, no remainder. Here I have a cross sign. Next, I bring down this 4. Is this 4 greater than that black 2? Oh yes, of course it's bigger. So we can proceed with the sum. 2 times 2 gives me a 4. That is yet again a 0. I shall put a cross. I'm done. Well, now comes down this 6. Is 6 greater than this black 2? Oh yes, that means we can proceed with the sum. So 2 times 3 is equal to 6. We do the subtraction and thereby we are not left with any remainder and our final answer is 123. I'm going to the next sum, okay? It is a different kind of sum. So I would take a 256, okay, divided by 2. Again, I'm going to compare this to, let me take a darker color. I'm going to compare this 2 with the 2 outside. It is equal, so we can proceed with the sum. 2 times 1 is equal to 2. No remainder after subtraction. It's equal to 0, or I shall put a cross. I bring down 5. Is 5 greater than this green or maybe a blue 2? Is 5 greater than this blue 2 outside? Oh yes, it is greater. That means we can proceed with the sum. Looking out for a number which gives me a number either less than or equal to 5. So 2 times 2 gives me a 4. I do the subtraction once again and I get a 1. Now this 1, is it less than 2, equal to 2, or greater than 2? This is less than 2. That means we cannot proceed with the sum. I bring down the 6 over here. So 16 is working as a group. Now 16, is that less than 2, equal to 2, or more than 2? It's more than 2. So definitely we can move ahead with the sum. 2 times 8 gives us a 16. We do the subtraction, left with no remainder. So we get 128 as our final answer over here. So 128 is the quotient, okay? And thereby I move on to the end of the lesson, and I shall finish the lesson with this sum. The question is 216. I write a 2 here. Let me make this 2 of a different color. Okay. So we are going to compare this purple 2 with this orange 2. Is it less than, equal to, or greater than the orange 2? It is equal to, right? So 2 times 1 gives us a 2, doing the subtraction, and I am left with no numbers. Here comes down 1, okay? Now, here 1 is less than 2. Can I proceed with the sum? No. What do I do in that case? I am also bringing down 6 over here. Now 16 is going to work as a group. Just because I have brought down 2 numbers at the same time. You see, these arrowheads are of the same length. That means I have brought these 2 numbers down at the same time. It is not happening in 2 different steps. I'm bringing those 2 numbers down in a single step. So I need to put a 0 over here. When you bring down 2 numbers in the same step, you have to put a 0 at the top. Okay? So 2 times which number will give me a 16 or something less than 16? Now we see that 16 is exactly divisible by 2. So 2 times 8 gives me a 16. 16 minus 16 leaves us with no remainder. So our final answer is equal to 108. So 260 divided by 2 is equal to 108. Okay? So friends, that was the end of today's lesson. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to drop your comments in the comment section, and I will be more than happy to reply you back. I really appreciate your time and support, and thank you so much. You have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye. Please take care.